The Admirals. Whenever I look in the comment sections of a video related to the Yonkos or Admirals, you always see the Yonko level and Admiral level. And people always see the Yonko level being the best level and Admiral level being the second best level. And I've seen this many times. But yeah, the Yonkos and the Admirals have a great connection. But this is a video not about the Yonkos. I've done videos about the Yonkos multiple times. This is about the Admirals. Not just the Admirals, the three Admirals. I'm going to discuss the Rear Admiral, the Vice Admiral, the Admirals itself, and the Fleet Admiral. All four classes of Admirals that are in the One Piece story. Now when it comes to Rear Admirals, there's only one notable Rear Admiral, and that's Hina. And if you guys don't know, this might be a spoiler alert. It's not really a big spoiler, to be honest, but Hina has upgraded to a Rear Admiral. And I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of disappointed because I wanted Hina to be Vice Admiral, but in due time, we know her and Smoker kind of like the same class, so she's gonna get to that Smoker level as Vice Admiral. But right now she's a Rear Admiral, and Hina is deadly. Like, people gotta stop sleeping on Hina. Like, she be doing some next level stuff with her Delph Fruit, caging people up. So yeah, Hina is definitely, she can be really impressive, and the story, she's gonna probably be like one of the strongest females in the One Piece story at the end of the story. So I definitely see big things in the future for Hina. But most notably, when discussing the Rear Admirals, we talk about the former Rear Admiral X Drake, who's a part of the worst generation. And X Drake is, yeah, he was very impressive, to be honest, because we saw that in Saba Odi or Shabundi, he stopped Arujo and Killer from fighting with like both his arms. So like, he was not even transformed to his Delph Fruit. So I'm like, okay, X Drake is definitely someone who, yeah, one of the former Rear Admirals. We can see the Rear Admiral strength where it lied. Yeah, the Rear Admirals, they're not Vice Admiral, but I give them some credit. It's like, they're not fodder. They're not fodder for me. Now, the Vice Admirals have been getting disrespected lately. Like, when people think of Vice Admirals, they pretty much laugh at it. They don't take them serious. And I feel like there's a lot of Vice Admirals that actually, I'm really thinking that they're going to be really impressive when it comes to their power in the New World. And like, people are going to be like, whoa, what are you talking about, Mac? Like, I'm actually serious. The Vice Admirals, there are some Vice Admirals, I see it, I look at them and I'm like, yo, this guy might be a savage. First Vice Admiral I want to talk about is Smoker. We know Smoker has been chasing Luffy since Logtown, and Smoker has risen up there. We know the only reason why he was a captain because he just wanted to stay at Logtown from letting pirates go to the Grand Line. But you see how fast he rose up from like Commodore all the way to Rear Admiral to all the way to Vice Admiral. Like, he rose up through the time skip. And Smoker was really hacked with his Delph Fruit, and in the time skip he gained Haki. We know every single Vice Admiral has to have at least some sort of Haki. It's really impressive for Vice Admirals to have that. So I'm thinking like Smoker, he definitely took a lot of L's in the New World, but he is a Vice Admiral that I think in the future Smoker will rise to the top, yeah. Momonga. This is probably, I think, a fan favorite when it comes to Vice Admiral. Some people think he's overrated. Momonga really hasn't shown anything serious, but we do have to say that he was one of the special Vice Admirals that were the Buster Call in Enies Lobby. I gotta give him some respect for that. Oda put him in Enies Lobby for a reason. I also want to say this, Boa Hancock, that whole situation with Boa Hancock where he cuts his own arm or his own hand because Boa Hancock's crazy power, that was epic. Like, I actually like that. And then we seen, like, prior to that, he defeated the Sea King. It wasn't shown in the manga, but in the anime it actually showed him defeating the Sea King, which was epic. And like, this is the power of a Vice Admiral, Navy headquarters, Marine headquarters Vice Admiral, and he's definitely someone who's, I think, is really impressive. We know in Marine 40 he had that cut on Luffy and pretty much saying, Luffy, yo, you're a rookie, man, you're on my level. Let's be honest, pre-time skip Luffy, Momonga was stronger than post-time skip. Yeah, I think Luffy's stronger than Momonga, but I still think Momonga is someone that is going to be impressive in the New World, and I gotta give him some respect. Onigimo, the man whose hair is dangerous. Now, we first saw Onigimo, I believe, in Enies Lobby, where he killed that one dude for acting up like one of his subordinates. He wrecked him. But I do want to say this, the biggest thing with Onigimo is his hair. His hair has a Delph Fruit. Like, well, I'm not too sure if it's his hair or himself, but I believe it's his hair because he only uses it on his hair, and everybody's been saying it's a spider Delph Fruit. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet, but I do want to say this. Yeah, Onigimo was the biggest reason why Marco got clapped in the back by Kizaru when he jumped Marco and got him with the sea stone, handcuffed him. So I definitely want to say Onigimo is a tricky fighter, and I definitely think he's one of those Vice Admirals that I think is going to be impressive in the future when we see him actually do something in New World. Now, I mentioned Momonga and I mentioned Onigimo, but let's be honest here, out of the three, I personally like Doberman the most. People are thinking, Doberman, why? Like, I used to like Momonga the most, but now I'm thinking about it, yo, Doberman seems like the guy who might be the leader of these Vice Admiral and Marine headquarters. Because just look at this, yo. First of all, he was the one leading the Buster Call in the, I believe, the Enies Lobby arc. That's just, it might be small, but I feel like that's something big that I should discuss. I also want to say this. even though like the way he wore that red coat, like he was wearing a red coat in the Marine Ford story, I believe. So like why is he wearing a red coat and everyone else is wearing the regulars, like stuffs? Like he's kind of, I feel like Oda's trying to show us that Doberman is like the leader of the Vice Admirals, like the Akainu of the Vice Admirals. Maybe he is savage. He did not want the war to be finished after Sengoku said, "Oh, let's end the war, we're done." So we see the savageness of him. So I definitely think that Doberman, people have been disrespecting Doberman, saying he hasn't shown any feats, but let's be honest here, I feel like Doberman, there is some indication that he might be the leader of these Vice Admirals, and it'll be epic if he is. Another Vice Admiral which I look at, I'm not too impressed with Strawberry, but yeah, he's definitely someone that we got at least discuss. We know Enies Lobby, he was also there, and definitely the guys at Enies Lobby, I feel like I look at them a little differently with the Buster Call situation. I also want to say this, though, my man Jinbei whooped that man's ass in the flashback. Yo, he destroyed Strawberry when he was a Rear Admiral, so I definitely got to say that Strawberry, he has, I think he has 2 swords that he fights with, but I got to see more of Strawberry in the New World and see what he's about. Stainless, now I'll be honest here, I've been back and forth with Stainless, because Stainless in Marine Ford, I was actually thinking, yo, this guy is a savage in Stainless, the way he was standing, the posture, you know. But I remember when Doflamingo was playing with one of the other Vice Admirals, and Stainless had to defend himself, and like it's funny, but like Doflamingo was pretty much playing with Stainless. Even though he didn't use Parasite on Stainless, he still was kind of playing with him. So I definitely think that Stainless is someone legit, but I'm still up and down with him. But I feel like he might surprise everybody and shock everybody with a power that's unique and crazy. Yamakaji, yo, I'm gonna be honest here, he's one of the Vice Admirals that was at Enies Lobby, and like I said all this time, I look at the Vice Admirals at Enies Lobby a little bit differently with the Buster Call. But we really haven't seen anything from Yamakaji. I know the flashback he was with Sengoku, I believe, in Mamanga. I'm not too sure if that was facts or not, but I do know that he told Suru to chill and stay back when they were in the Marine Fort. He really hasn't shown anything, but he's definitely one of the Vice Admirals that Oda has kind of highlighted, so I definitely think that he's gonna be very impressive when it comes to his strength. Dalmatian, now let's be honest here, let's not try to ignore it. Dalmatian, he jumped Luffy. When Momonga cut Luffy, Dalmatian came out of nowhere and jumped Luffy, and I was laughing. But I gotta say this, Dalmatian has an epic Zoan Delfruit, the Dalmatian Delfruit, like I said, so his name is pretty much what his Delfruit is, I believe. And I think he's really not gonna be like, you saw Bastille in Dressrosa. I feel like he's the same as Bastille, to be honest. Vice Admiral Comil, now I'll be honest with you, I have nothing to say about Vice Admiral Comil. He looks kind of up there when it comes to his age. He might impress me. I don't think Oda's really do anything big with this Vice Admiral character. We do know he was in the cover story with Ace and the whole story there, and he actually showed him to let Ace go. So I don't know what's going to be happening with Comil, but I definitely want to bring him up at least. Bastille. Now, I did talk about Bastille when talking about Dalmatian, and we saw Bastille and Dalmatian were kind of like standing in the same spots in the picture with all the Vice Admirals. But I want to say this, Bastille, yeah, we seen a little bit of him in Dressrosa, and then Sabo just pretty much made him look like trash, destroyed his mask, and I'm thinking, yeah, this guy he had an epic name. I think it was I'm not sure what it was called, like some sort of cutter. But yeah, Bastille got wrecked by Sabo. Let's be honest, I don't think he's one of the most impressive Vice Admirals, like I said. Mozambia, you're probably thinking, who the hell is Mozambia, Mac? I'll be honest here, Mozambia, this might be preaching right now, but he's the Vice Admiral that Doflamingo used Parasite on in the meeting of the Warlords. And I do gotta say, yeah, the fact that it's not really a knock, because Doflamingo has used Parasite on a lot of top tier characters. The biggest ones I can think of is Luffy, Jozu, Sanji. Like, he uses Parasite on these characters. But the one with Mozambia was kind of funny, because like he was looking all ridiculous and everything. So I definitely gotta say, this guy, I don't think there's gonna be nothing more to his character. He's just a Vice Admiral that Oda threw in, I believe. Cancer. Now you're thinking, yo, are these characters even real, Mac? Yo, I'm telling you right now, these characters are real. Yo, I'll be honest, yo, I didn't even notice Cancer when I was reading the story and watching the story. But actually looking and researching, this guy's actually a Vice Admiral, and he actually has a badass scar. But there's nothing more to it. I know he's one of the early Vice Admirals that was introduced in the East Blue when Luffy first got his bounty, but there's really nothing more to discuss with this character. He hasn't really shown anything. Maynard. Yes, Maynard is a Vice Admiral which pretty much got, how do I say this, destroyed by Bartolomeo, because he beat Gambia, which is Bartolomeo's right-hand man, and I was like, okay, Maynard's a Vice Admiral, I gotta give him that respect. We know every Vice Admiral has some sort of haki, I believe, but then Barto just destroyed him. Garp, the hero, Luffy's grandfather. Let's be honest here, I'm not really gonna go in with Garp, because I've done videos on Garp, but Garp is pretty much, Prime Garp is the strongest Marine ever, like of all time. Right now, Garp has hanged it up. He still has the title of Vice Admiral, but he really isn't doing anything. But I do want to say this though. It's funny, because I remember that moment in the flashback where Garp's like, I think they wanted to promote him, I'm not too sure, and Garp's like, I don't need no promotion, huh? So like, he could have been an Admiral all this time, but he just stays as a Vice Admiral, and that's just Garp Garp's personality, and that's why people have been saying that Garp does not have Conqueror's Haki. I believe he does have Conqueror's Haki because he doesn't listen to the authority. He does whatever he wants, so I feel like that's a great trait that might make him have Conqueror's Haki. And he did say to Luffy that he inherited, so I think he does have some sort of knowledge on it. I think Garp has Conqueror's Haki. Vice Admiral Suru. Some people disrespect Suru. I'll be honest here. Suru is definitely someone you should be scared about, and I'm definitely putting Suru on that level of crazy because we know that Doflamingo is running away from Suru, and Doflamingo is a very incredible foe. Now it was a long time ago, but still, that was a Doflamingo. So Suru is definitely someone that's I feel she's someone you gotta respect in strength. We know she was kind of like, it was like Sengoku, Garp, and Suru. So I'm not gonna, in the future I could see like Kobe, Smoker, and Hina. But all I want to say is this, yo, Suru is definitely her power, the washing Delphi. I'm not too sure what it is, but I gotta give respect to Suru. That all-female Marines, I gotta love it. John the Giant. You know what's funny about John the Giant, yo? Whenever I think about One Piece, when I first started One Piece, watching One Piece a long time ago, that's the first character that always comes to my head, John the Giant. Remember when he was talking about how the Marines, Justin, and all that mumble and all that stuff? But I do want to say this, the biggest thing about John the Giant is when Whitebeard pretty much, oh my gosh, tilted and everything, just wrecked him. So I gotta give respect to John the Giant. He is someone that I have a memory of, but Whitebeard pretty much destroyed this dude. Speaking of Giants though, let's just discuss all the Giant Squad. We know that all the Giant Squad are a part of the Vice Admirals. And something I always got confused was they said that every single Vice Admiral has some sort of haki. If the Giants have some sort of haki, they could be ferocious. Like, they already have amazing strength. So I was just thinking about that lately. But we know the Giant Squad pretty much got wrecked by Whitebeard and Oz Jr. So like, they really got like destroyed. So I definitely think the Giants and Elbaf are gonna be way stronger than the Vice Admiral Giant Squad. But there's something I gotta talk about. Like, I gotta give some respect, yo, to LaCroix, who got wrecked, and then Rons. So I give some respect. Finally, yes, we were joking around for too long. Let's talk about the actual video's title, the Admirals. Yes, I kind of beat around the bush, but the Admirals are the Navy's strongest force. They say the Yonkos, they run the New World. The Admirals and then the Warlords are there to balance it. And let's be honest here, Akainu is changing the whole system. Whether you like Akainu or not, he's changing the whole system, bringing the Admirals to the New World. So definitely big things for the Admirals, and I'm hyped. First one I want to talk about is Kizaru Borsalino, the man who's always nonchalant and looks like he's on some sort of drugs. I do want to say in Sabaody, when he was introduced on that cannonball, it was pure hype. We have fodder, pirate trying to shoot him in the head, trying to get some fame, and like Kizaru was like, oh, like Kizaru was a funny character. And I think in the flashback, I'm not too sure, but he was under Sengoku. Actually, I do think he's under Sengoku in the flashback, which was pretty epic. But I do want to say this, his flashback, I think Kizaru's gonna have some sort of flashback. I made a video about this, check it out, it's really back on my channel. I might put it in the description box down below. But yeah, I think he has some sort of sad flashback which has to do with darkness. Yeah, that's very interesting. I do want to say the future opponent, we all know that his future opponent is Sanji. I don't care if you say I'm judging this off the opening, it just makes sense. What can I say? It just makes sense. I also want to say this, I think that Ben Beckman on the Shanks crew, I think that Ben Beckman did fight Kizaru in the past. People say no, I believe he did. It's opinion, prediction. I might be wrong and I might look like an idiot, but that's just a belief that I think that it might happen in the past, that Ben Beckman and Kizaru fought. Fujitora, yes, the admiral that was introduced in Dressrosa. And the really interesting thing about Fujitora is like he came through a military job. Like, it's epic, because I'm thinking whenever the time skip happened, I was thinking, who's gonna be the new admiral? Is it gonna be Momonga? Is it gonna be Doberman? Is it gonna be Onigimo? And out of nowhere, there's two admirals that are not even a part of the Marines before. Oda just knows how to make us hyped for new characters. I have to love that kind of essence that Oda brings to the story of One Piece. But yeah, I think that Fujitora was the strongest character in Dressrosa. Some people disagree with me, but I believe he was the strongest character in Dressrosa. And I always say that Fujitora, people always talk about his Delphi, but his observation haki is never talked about. Like, his observation haki might be one of the greatest observation hakis in the One Piece story. I know characters like Anel who combine his observation haki with his Delphi, but Kizaru can't even see, and he fights like he can see, and like, that's amazing observation haki. You have to give some sort of respect to Fujitora. I think I said Kizaru, my bad. But I do want to say this, his Delphi is a mystery, because some people say that he has it on his sword, some people say he has it on his body. I've been debating back and forth. I also want to say this, opponents that he might have in the future, Rona or Zoro. And I'll be honest, I kind of been recently thinking, what if it would be an epic fight if Mihawk and Fujitora had a battle? That would be epic if it did happen. I'm not too sure it will, but it'll be epic because we know there's a lot of the power level, the base that people have. I also want to say this finally, Akainu pretty much kicked Fujitora out of the freaking Marines for a little bit, so I wonder what's gonna happen there. Put your thoughts in the comment section. Tell me what's gonna happen there. Green Bull, and I'll be honest, I made a whole video on Green Bull, just like I did a whole video on Fujitora, but I'll just say one thing, yo. Who is this nigga, yo? Is it a female? Is it a male? We saw the sort of the silhouette, and like I'm just confused who Green Bull is. Quickly gonna discuss the former admirals Aokiji and Akainu. These two are former admirals for two different reasons. Aokiji lost to Akainu for the Fleet Admiral position, and he pretty much got kicked out, and Akainu did show him some sort of mercy. Akainu got the position of Fleet Admiral, which making him a former admiral, and now he's the leader pretty much of the Marines. And I gotta say, yo, these guys were pretty much the face of the admirals, and now that they're not admirals, it's crazy. Fleet Admirals, yes, Fleet Admirals. It's gonna be really quick because there's only one Fleet Admiral, and as you've seen, as we get higher and higher, we see less and less characters, except the Rear Admirals. But the Fleet Admiral is pretty much the leader of the Marines, other than the Commander-in-Chief. And I gotta say that there's been many Fleet Admirals in the past. The current Fleet Admiral is Akainu, and like I said in the beginning of this video, Akainu is doing big things, putting the headquarters of the Marines in the New World, which is unprecedented, and he's trying to make moves. He's sending out admirals left and right. Akainu is someone that people don't like, but I feel like he's absolute justice. Is actually well suited for the Fleet Admiral position. Even though I still disagree with many things he does, he's still a strong leader. But you know, they say with strong leaders, sometimes it doesn't power get to their heads. Former Fleet Admirals are Sengoku and Kong. Sengoku was a recent former Fleet Admiral. Sengoku was, I think he was the best Fleet Admiral, because think about it, Sengoku had to be a Fleet Admiral when the pirate era was all a mess. Goldie Roger pretty much shitted on Sengoku when he started the pirate era and telling everyone to look for One Piece in the biggest pirate era, and now Sengoku's a Fleet Admiral that whole time. Like, Sengoku, people gotta respect Sengoku for what he did. He's made a lot of, he's for the world. Like, he's actually a guy who's a good guy. I remember when the level 6 prisoners escaped, and they were like, Sengoku's like, put a bounty poster for all of them. And the government's like, no, we're not gonna do that. Like, Sengoku's a real ass dude. But leave your thoughts in the comment section. Tell me what you think about all the Marines, from the Rear Admirals to the Vice Admirals to the Admirals to the Fleet Admiral. Put your thoughts in the comment section. I really want to hear what you guys think. And this was a very long video. I apologize. Not that much editing is gonna go into it because the long videos is tough to edit like that. But I do want to say there will be, hey guys, it's Mac here, and there will be a double upload. So tune in for that. Like and share if you enjoyed. Like and share only if you enjoyed. And subscribe for more One Piece content. I'm the Legend Mac, and I'm gone.